also want to announce that we have a new artist that's going to join the Artful webinar family, and her name is Cindy Moser, and here she is.
Hello. I am delighted to be part of the Artful webinar family. I think this is going to be an exciting new way to learn a lot of new techniques and to get to meet a lot of people across the country. And it is the new way of learning art, and I'm excited to be part of the people that get to teach it. And I'm part of a family that is wonderful, so there are a lot of incredible artists that I have the honor of joining. One of the things that I wanted to show you today is the piece that I'll be teaching. And this is, let me hold that where you can see it, an abstract butterfly, and it's acrylic, and it will be a 3-hour class, and it will be taught on August the 6th from noon till 3 o'clock Eastern time. I hope you'll join me, and here's why. We're going to learn a lot of new techniques and a lot of learning fun. I think that anytime you take a class, you get better. I still take classes. I hope I always can. And I hope you'll take classes. And this Artful webinar family is already part family. So I think you're going to really enjoy being part of us. Please mark August the 6th on your calendar. Please go to Artful Webinars and sign up. I think you're going to see a lot of beautiful projects, and hopefully mine. And I look forward to getting to know you and meet you and teach. And I think this is going to be really interesting for those of you who haven't done it, because you're literally seeing my piece up close and my hand doing every stroke. And that makes a difference in learning. In some ways, it's a lot better than being in a classroom in a convention. And please join me. I'm excited. Thank you very much. Thank you to Artful Webinars. I am so excited to be part of this team. Join us, please.
Thank you. That was a Miss Cindy Moser, so you're going to see a lot more coming from her in the future. Next I have is Louise Jackson.
Hi. Cindy is absolutely right. Being able to see you're actually, excuse me, to see the artist's hand and how your paint is being moved and manipulated. It's really incredible to be able to do it on screen. And even though when you go up to stand next to a teacher and watch her do it, you're watching from all different positions. Excuse me. When you're on screen, you're all seeing it the way the teacher's doing it. So that's real advantage to this whole system. And I'm very happy to be able to join you. And I'm going to be teaching a rose. And I designed this rose so it could be taught to everybody. And it can be done in both watercolor and acrylics, or one or the other. And Cindy has the color suggestions for both, but I also suggest don't go out and buy any new paint. If you have acrylics and you want to use acrylics, you'll be able to just color match the swatches very easily. And if you have watercolors, just a few pinks are your main color for this one. But then again, if you wanted to do peach tones, you could easily change and use more of an orange instead of the pink colors. So I'm real flexible I like people to have colors and use colors that will work in their house, because I know when you do a bigger painting, it's usually going to hang someplace, you know, in a bedroom or a hallway or your living room, something like that. So I want you to make it colors that you want to use. my goal in teaching this was so that if you ever had a problem with the rose, I kept saying to myself, if they could just do one rose and never have to fear doing another rose, make it so that it tells you as much as I can about how to form petals. So that's mostly what this is going to be about. And it really doesn't matter which medium you're using, whether it's acrylics or watercolor, because they both work really well. Years I did books for an acrylic company, and I would use watercolors sometimes and acrylics sometimes. So I learned to use my acrylics just like I use watercolors. So I know they work. And I'm not going to say it's super easy, but I think it's very understandable. And hopefully you'll never have to fear painting another rose. So that's my goal.
So when you say, just a couple questions, when you say acrylics, are you talking bottled acrylics or like Americana, or are you talking other brands?
Could be anything, really. I could do it with tube acrylics. I could do it with any bottled acrylics. I prefer, currently, I like the media acrylics if you have them, simply because they're more transparent. Some of the bottled acrylics are mixes, so you might get a different effect than what you expect. But if you know your colors, if you've got colors that you've already worked with and done something else with, you pretty much know if it's going to produce a color that you would like. And that's the main goal. So I don't care what colors you use. And there isn't an acrylic that wouldn't work, I don't think. I've not met it.
And
or a watercolor.
And the next question is from Jackie, and she was wondering if you could use colored pencils.
I have used colored pencils on this very rose, but not, I just did a practice thing trying to work out some colors. And yeah, you could. It's a totally different technique, but you certainly could. All you're doing is you're putting your light values where I have mine and your dark values where I have mine, and your middle values. It's more work, I think, because of the motion of your hand. What I mean is you have to take so many more strokes than I do, so it may take you longer. But if you watch the video and you focus on the values and where they're being placed, and you do a couple of each petals with me, even if you don't complete it, you can complete it on your own. Colored pencil artists are not revered enough because it takes so long to complete most of the pieces, and they're so beautiful and they're so detailed, and it's a wonderful medium. So I don't want to say you can't do it. It just may take you a little bit longer, that's all. Because your pencil doesn't cover as much area as the brush would. That's the only difference.
Yeah, probably do a smaller piece, not a 16 by 20, right?
Maybe. It might be a good idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
I had a friend that was doing colored pencils, and when she told me how many hours she had into her paintings, I couldn't believe it. And she always had to sell prints because she really couldn't afford to sell her originals. They just take a lot of time.
They do. So thank you so
Erica
much.
knows that.
Thank you so much for being a part of the family, and I look forward to your webinar. And I know that everyone loved your tulip on the Facebook group Artfully Connected. So you have until the end of this month to watch that video, and then you can go watch it on Louise's, is it YouTube? Is it on your YouTube or regular web?
On YouTube, yeah, that video is. But I was amazed at some of the girls or people that posted their finished pieces. They were beautiful, just really did great jobs. So thank you so much for all your help, Cindy. As many of you are so creative and such wonderful artists, I noticed that some of you are not a whole lot better at the computer than I am. So some of us need some lessons on computer things.
And I told you weren't alone. I told you were in good company.
Yeah, you did great. You need to do tutorials on computer and Zoom.
Private lessons.
There you go.
That's the next life.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So after her, and hers is, by the way, August 22nd, and the registration is open for her. She has some spots there left for you to sign up. And then after her, I have Miss Lydia Steves. Yep.
Hi. So are you wanting Corabelle, or you wanting...
Corabelle is the brand new one. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Hang on. Here is Corabelle. All right. So this is a beginner pastel, actually. So we will be using the new pastels for the most part. However, pastels are like they're a whole other ball game, actually. So it's not going to be you must have these, and we will all be doing this with the same thing with this one color. If you don't have quite the same color, you'll just make a decision to use a cool blue or a dark blue or something like that. If you have new pastels, I just use the 24 pack for her. So that's, if you can get them, then it's good to get those ones. Maybe you already have a set though. I find that lots of people have some that they maybe got from present or something like that. So I guess what I'm saying is with colored pencil, we all sort of, I say, now we pick this color and now we're going to do exactly this with it. This is a little bit more of a free form. Choose some colors. Maybe you don't like the purple. Maybe you'll go a blue in there. Maybe you don't like that lime green. Maybe you'll go with a different kind of green. You know, maybe you'll do something else. So it's going to be a different kind of a workshop, and it's going to be hugely fun. It's on about, I think it's 11 by 14. So just generally when I do pastels, I go a little bit bigger. Yeah, okay, it's going to be great. Just going to be great.
So move on to the next one if you're ready.
I am. Now don't ask me the same question 3 times though.
I'll try not to.
No, I'm just bugging you. So this is Newton. Now this is colored pencil. And so we will do, hopefully you will do the pen pencil background. And I give you some options if you don't want to do the pen pencil background. And then we're going to do this little cutie pie on September
12th.
12th. Okay. Any questions about that one?
I have no idea.
Okay. So I do give you a little bit of homework on this one, because even though it's not hard, it's just a lot of bird to kind of get through. So we really want to concentrate on the little bird. And so you'll have a couple of layers already on your leaves, and then hopefully we'll have time to finish those off. And if we don't have time to finish those off, I have made a video for definitely finishing things off. So we'll start off with the eyes and the beak, kind of get everything started. We'll definitely get the bird finished. There's no question about that. And then it's, you know, exploring our inner creativity to get the rest done.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great too.
Excellent. Thank you, Lydia. Okay, so next I'm going to have Spotlight, if we can find, hi, Fran. You're going to show your roses?
These came from the class I taught because people were interested in waxing and mounting. This is mounted onto a cradle board, and it's just a 5x7 piece because we were going to spend some time doing some waxing, with demonstrating waxing and how to mount it onto a board. So it's not as long a class. Pretty easy painting. It's watercolor.
And you're using watercolor paper, right, still?
I am using watercolor paper, 140 cold press arches. And I will put together a kit if anybody would like it. I haven't worked up a cost yet though. It's not going to be over $15 though. And that will include shipping.
Awesome.
And I'll give Cindy the information on where you can order it. So
Yeah, I'll send them to you.
Mhm.
So that's going to be a beautiful piece, and that's on September 13th. Thank you so much, Fran. And then Cindy Vitale.
I'm going to do a teacup project in September. It'll be on the 23rd. And what inspired this whole concept is, I don't know if you remember, some of you might remember that I did a teacup series for Artist Club. And these were free downloads. And there was a series of different holidays. And so a lot of people liked the little teacup. So what we're going to do is something much more simplistic. And it'll be from 12 to 3 on the 23rd. That's a Wednesday. But it'll just be something fun. It'll be acrylics.
Thank you.
So you can use the colors that you have on hand. Not a lot of supplies will be needed.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And then she's going to be a regular too. So she's got a lot of dates set up between now and next year. So watch out for Cindy Vitale's regular monthly classes.
Watch out for me.
Let's see. Mary Gibilisco, Mary Kingslan Gibilisco. She's doing a still life with using heat set oils, and it's a blue vase with lemons, and it's relatively beginner. You know, she says intermediate. So obviously you have to know a little bit about your medium. So if you want to do it in acrylics, she's not opposed to you doing it in acrylics, but you need to know your medium. She knows heat set oils and regular oils. She's not very versed in other mediums. So if you have other mediums you want to do her project in, she's not opposed to you joining her class and doing it. Basically, she's going to do a lot of educational on theory, say value changes and intensities and stuff like that. And that is something, knowledge you can use with any medium, okay? With any medium. So don't hesitate to sign up for her class. Then after her, Miss Wagner. Yes. There you go. Show us your stuff, honey.
Okay. We have a choice. I always have choices. We can do this on a tote bag, or even a pillow. I think it'd be pretty on a pillow also. Or if you want to do it on a canvas and then put a frame around it, that is a faux frame, or put this faux frame around another painting you have.
And it blows my mind every time because I think it looks raised and it is not. It's all painted.
Yeah, I have to tell you, when I have it in the booth around paintings, people come up and touch it. They cannot believe it's not real. So it's first a lot of fun with just the daisies and very loose, you know how I paint. But then we'll be a lot more technical and more specific when we get to the frame. And don't hesitate, as I said, either on a tote or a pillow or on a canvas board. And if you don't want to put the frame on this canvas board, then put it on another painting you have. You need a 2-inch border. You need 2 inches to do this.
Okay, cool. And Julie says, love it, Beth.
Okay, goody, goody.
So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Cindy. This has been the best idea. And you do have a great group of women doing this and such a variety.
Isn't it wonderful? It's so awesome. And I'm so happy for the people out there, for all of the rest of you who are just watching and have been starving for something to do, or you're missing out on taking those classes at the conventions or at your chapters or whatever. I'm glad that I am able to bring them to you in your own homes. So this is pretty cool. Then the person who's going to see our year out, well, we have two. Janelle Johnson's doing a snowy egret and colored pencils. But the person who's in the house is Miss Sandy LaFleur.
I forget I'm muted and I just start talking. So yes, if you're not too busy Christmas shopping, you can join me in December and we'll paint this Santa. It's called Christmas Hope because there's a little baby Jesus in here. And it measures about 14 inches tall, so it's kind of hard to get all on my screen. But you could do it on any surface you have once you get your PDF, the instructions. But you'll get to do his beard with a comb or a rake brush, and lots of background little techniques to add interest. And we should have a great time. And it'll be a nice retreat from fighting the crowds at Christmas, we hope.
The person who's going to see our year out, I want to announce another new artist.
Hi everyone, my name is Marika Moretti and I'm an Italian artist. I'm very, very happy and honored to be part of the Artful webinars family. So thank you so much, Cindy and Carolyn, for inviting me. I can't wait to share my art with all of you, and I hope I will be able to teach you something new. In the meantime, if you want to look at my designs and my style, you can go on my website. That's marikamorettidesigns.com, and that's both in Italian and in English, of course. And I do also have a YouTube channel, Marika Moretti Designs, where I have tutorials in English. So if you want, just check them out. So thank you again for having me here, and I can't wait to be with all of you. Thank you. Ciao. Bye.
I want to announce the addition. Miss Carol Spohn will be doing a project with Fran Middlestead. I'll let her talk about it.
Hi there. Fran and I both do watercolor and like a lot of the same things, but we paint things differently. And so I think we're going to do like the same type of a flower, and mine are more about the background and Fran's are beautiful flowers on their own, and to show different approaches to get using the same line drawing, you know, how it could look so much different. And I think we haven't decided, but an example might be, whoops. This one's more about the background than it is the flower. Quite frankly, when I painted it, I got bored with the flowers, but we'll see what we can come up with. So,
awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. You're the most recent. Saying thank you. I really appreciate it. It's going to be wonderful. I love your stuff. Did we find Jan? So your class is in October, right?
Yes.
And
the 17th.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to be teaching a box. It's called a solja box. Solja is the Norwegian word for silver. They have a very beautiful type of silver jewelry that they wear with their costumes in Norway. And this is a special box where you can store that. It's done in a style of painting called red embroidery painting. In Norwegian, that's Raudshamsmalingen. And there's a really nice story that kind of goes along with it. I tell a lot of history when I'm teaching.
And it's beautiful stroke work. You're doing it in oils?
It's done in oils, and I chose this particular style because it only has a few colors. So if somebody is just new to it, they won't have to buy a huge amount of color paint or different colors of paint. And it's really not as difficult as it looks. It goes very, very quickly.
Very good. Thank you, Jan. And you can go right into our spectacular event called the First Artful Webinars 2021 Live Convention. You are our award-winning artist of the, you're the convention artist. Tell us all about Gnome, Artie the Gnome.
Okay, Artie the Gnome is the logo for the convention, painting with my gnomies. And you're going to have the opportunity on the opening night of the convention to join me and paint Artie, and you'll have a choice. You can paint him on, it's a fabric painting, fabric on a canvas bag, on an apron, whatever you'd like, or if you want to convert him to paint him on a piece of wood, that's fine. But if you sign up for that class, you'll get to paint with me to kick off the convention. And I was just going to go grab my apron, so if you excuse me a minute.
Go grab your apron. I'll talk a little bit about the convention.
So this is the original Artie, and he's actually painted on a tote bag, and I put him on an apron, but I'm also going to paint him on a pillow cover, so I can do a prep video for you and give you an idea of how to paint them. But I use regular acrylic paints rather than having you go out and buy fabric paints. But you're welcome to convert it to fabric paints if you have a whole mess of them. And so we're going to use fabric painting medium, and we're going to have a great time. And he's a cutie, and you're going to see him doing lots of stuff in the months to come. He's going to travel around a lot. So I hope you'll join me.
So the convention is March 16 through 21, and on the 16th is a Tuesday night, and we're going to have her kick off the party. When you register for the convention, you will get a goodie bag, and in the goodie bag, you'll have a choice of either having a tote or an apron, which you can then join us for this kickoff party. It'll be part of your registration fee, and you'll do the kickoff party and paint the gnome with her, and then, or on any surface you want. And there will be other goodies in the goodie bag as well. You'll also, when you register, you'll be able to choose which classes you want. So you will then pay for the individual classes like you do at a regular convention. And you will be also able to join a convention Facebook group, a private group just for people who are registered for the convention. In that group, you'll have make it and take it's, demos, and you'll have vendor shows and other vendor information. And so you can go in there at your leisure. They'll be recorded so you can watch them. You'll have like 30 days to watch them and, you know, do the work, the demos, play with the demos, or do the make it and take it's. If you want the make it and take it's, I'm going to put them out earlier so you can order your pieces from the teachers, your kits from the teachers, and do those make it and take it's. I want to thank you all so much, and thank that I think you're all going to enjoy every one of them. I am just in awe of the caliber of painters that we have in this group. So please mark your calendars, go to our webinars. The dates are going to be in there soon. And happy painting, everyone. Remember to always paint with heart. And what more can I say? Stay safe. That's the other one. Stay safe. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.